Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous video, we have discussed about strings, right? We have discussed about strings and how they represent, right? So in this video, we will discuss about indexing and slicing. So before that, what we need to understand in terms of strings is that strings are ordered collections, right? Which means that the order of preserving of each character in a string is in the specific order. So let us go ahead and see how the strings are considered as ordered collection. So here we have a string which is a subscribe here. So this subscribe is having in a specific order and we will be maintaining a specific order through its indexes. So for that reason we have for the first character which is S represented with 0. Later for the second character we are representing with index 1. So like that we are representing every character, every element here with index numbers here. So the index numbers will be starting with 0 going till how many number of characters that we are having in string minus 1. Here if you can carefully observe, we have 9 alphabets here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for that reason we are ending at 8. Because we are starting at 0, we are ending at how many number of characters we are having minus 1. Like that, these strings are considered as ordered collection. So we will be maintaining the order while preserving that particular string. And also when we are accessing the characters inside of the string, we will be using this particular indexes to access those particular characters. So now we will be understanding how we can access them by indexing. So for that reason, we will be taking the same example that what we have seen in the double quotes. So strings can be represented in single quotes or double quotes, right? So for that reason, I am taking in double quotes subscribe here. So I will be assigning the subscribe to subs here, let's say sub here. So for that reason, you can able to understand if I print this particular sub and also if I print the type of this particular sub, so that we can able to understand this is a string, right? So we can see in the result we are having this subscribe and the type of this subscribe is a string. So now let us go ahead and see how we can access these particular characters inside of this string. As we have seen, we can the strings, the characters are represented with indexes, right? So by using index operation we can able to access the characters. So for that reason, I am taking the whatever the variable that we are having and I will be using indexing. So indexing can be used through these braces, and instead of this what we need to mention is that whatever the character that we wanted to access, we need to represent that particular index number. Let's say in here I wanted to access this first character which is S. So for that reason what we need to mention the characters index. So it is starting with 1. So for that reason, I am mentioning sub index 0. So now if I execute this, you can able to get the result which is S, which is nothing but the character that is present in this index. So later I will access one more character here. Let's say I wanted to access this particular R. So in order to access this particular R, what we need to do? We need to mention its index number. So let us count its index number. We are starting with 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is the index position of this particular R. So for that reason, I am taking the variable. I will mention 5. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the character which is R is present at this particular 5th index. Let's say what we have in this particular index which is 3 here. So now if I mention 3 here, we can able to get another S which is this particular S after this particular B. So now by using this index operator, we can able to access whatever the character we want. A single character only we are accessing. So what if we wanted what if we wanted to access more characters? Let's say substring. Inside of this string, we wanted to access a part of this string. So what we need to do at that time? So at that time, we can use the same indexing operator with a little bit. So we can use this particular colon. So before this particular colon, we need to mention the start. So whatever the thing that you wanted to access, from which you wanted to start your substring. Let's say I wanted to access this particular substring from B BSC. I want this particular BSC from this particular string. So for that reason, the index of this particular B is 0, 1, 2. So for that reason, I will be mentioning 2 here. So after that, I need to go till this particular C here. So for that reason, what I need to do? This particular C is having the index number which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So C is having the index number 4. For that reason, what I need to mention? I should not mention 4, rather I should mention 5. So now if I execute this, we can able to see BSC. So why I have mentioned 5 is because by the functionality of this indexing, we don't get the value that what we have mentioned. We will only get the value, the previous value only. So for that reason, I have mentioned 5. So we can able to access C. I hope you can able to understand. Let's say I wanted to access some other substring. Let's say SCRI. SCRI is what I wanted to access. So tell me with what I need to start. So I need to start 0, 1, 2, 3. I need to start with 3. SUB. I need to start with 3. I need to go till SCRI. So for that reason, what I need to do? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to stop at 6. So for that reason, we need to mention 7 here. So I am mentioning 7 here. So now if I execute this, we can able to see SCRI. So that is what we have expected, right? So by using this particular index operator, we can able to get this particular substring also. So now what we will be doing is that to get the exact string just day, so I will mention some here. So we will be doing a lot of things. So for that reason only, I am taking this particular subscribe to keep track. So now what we will be doing is that we are only getting this particular start to end. So what if I wanted to skip some iterations? So let's say I am going through this string. So I don't want some particular let's say indexes. So for that reason, what we can do is that we can mention this particular thing by mentioning 2 colons. After 2 colons, we can mention whatever we wanted. So now what we will be doing is that I will mention this particular 2 here. So by simply mention this particular 2 at the end, what we will be getting is that we will be getting this particular thing. So this particular subscribe will start at this particular S, and we don't get this particular U because we are going one step. So we are going 2 steps. By default, when we don't mention anything in here, it will go one step only. If we mention anything in here, based on that, it will be jumping. So here we are mentioning 2 so that it will go 2 steps. So for that reason, we are starting at S, we need to go 2 steps. So for that reason, it was skipping this particular U and going to B. So you can see B here. So after that, it was skipping this particular S and going to C. You can see C here. After that, we are skipping this particular R going to I. You can see I here. After that, we are skipping this particular B going to C. You can see E here. So you can see E. So now you can able to understand how we can able to get the substring and how you can able to get some particular part. So here, if you simply mention this particular 2 things here, it will be getting the complete string here. So you can able to see the complete string coming here, because by default at the end, this step function is having 1. So for that reason only, we can able to get all the string that what we have. So now you can able to understand how we can access this particular string or substring or any character from left to right, from the starting till the end. So what if you wanted to access these elements from the end to start? Let's say I wanted to access these particular elements from minus. So I wanted to access this particular elements through negative indexing. We have the concept of negative indexing also. By mentioning minuses also, you can able to access. So for that reason, what I will be doing is that I wanted to access this particular B. So I don't want to count all these particular characters till B, because it was so many characters, right? So for that reason, I wanted to start from right. So for that reason, what we will be doing is that I will mention -2 here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get this particular B, because this particular string can be counted from right to left using minuses. So for that reason, this E is having -1, this B is having -2, this I is having -3. Like that, the minus count will be increases. So for that reason only, we can able to access this particular B using -2. So let us go ahead and access one more element through negative indexing. These are considered as negative indexing because we are mentioning minus here. So let's say I will access one more character here through negative indexing. Let's say we wanted to access this particular R through negative indexing. So help me to count this: -1, -2, -3, -4. So if I mention -4, we can able to get this particular R here. So now by using this negative indexing also, we can be able to get the characters from a string. So now what we will be doing is that we will be getting this substring from right to left in a reverse direction. So for that reason, we can also access them using negative indexing. So for that reason, let us say we will be access some particular, let us start with nothing. So what we will be doing is that we were taking this particular thing and we are mentioning 2 colons here. So after these 2 colons, by default it is having 1. We know that if, let's say, if I mention -1 here and execute this, we can able to see this whole subscribe coming in the reverse, coming from right to left. So you can able to understand that. So let's say I wanted to access a string, a substring from right to left. So a substring I'm mentioning. So substring, maybe let's say I wanted to access this particular RCS from right to left. So for that reason, what I need to do is that I need to take this particular variable. I need to mention RCS. So in the negative indexing, what we need to mention is that the starting will be the negative index, this particular rth position, whatever the position that we are having in R, that we need to mention. So for that reason, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to start at 5 and we need to go RCS, right? So for that reason, 0, 1, 2. So if I mention 2 here, and after that, if I mention 2, and after that, if I mention -1, you can able to see RCS, that is what we wanted to access, right? So I hope by this you can able to understand how we can access a substring from right to left and left to right and everything that you wanted to do with strings. So let us quickly recap what we have discussed from the beginning. So first we have understood what is this indexing and how this indexing works and how these strings are considered as ordered collection by this indexing, right? So after that, we have understood how we can access a particular character in string by using indexing. Later, we have discussed how to access a substring on the string. So later we have discussed how to increase the step, and after we have discussed the negative indexing, and also we have discussed how we can access a substring from right to left directly or by mentioning any step here. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic to do all the actions that you wanted to perform in a string. So in the next video, what we will be discussing is that we can able to perform some mathematical operations in numbers, right? So can we perform any mathematical operations in strings? So in the next video, we will see how we can perform plus operation, which is considered as a string concatenation, that we will be seeing in the next video. So to stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So if you found this video interesting, hit the like button. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.